All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. You might see my son behind me. He's playing Madden in the background, but very exciting news. Utah just picked up a wide receiver from Utah State. My son's having a good time. Otto Tia from Utah State. Good pickup, proven guy. I'm excited to dive in. I'm excited to talk about him. This comes after a weird news this morning where Tayshawn Lyons goes into the portal, and then within 2 hours, he's back out of the portal. So let's keep an eye on that. But definitely a good pickup and proven wide receiver, Otto Tia. We're going to dive in. We're going to break him down. We're going to talk about it. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Also, comment down below. What do you guys think of Otto? What do you think of the Tayshawn Lyons situation? I want to know what you guys are thinking. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We put out a ton of Utah Utes football content. So if you're into it, this is the place to be. You can see my son's back there playing Madden. We get them started young. You know, everybody loves football in my house. And we're brought to you by the 1012 Network. 1012 Network sponsored by Charlie Hustle. Go to charliehustle.com. Use code 101215 for 15% off any non-sale items. Charlie Hustle, vintage made fresh. Seriously, guys, great stuff. Check them out. Again, 101215, 15% off any non-sale items. charliehustle.com, vintage made fresh. And let's dive in and let's take a look at Otto Tia. Okay, guys, and just for the fun of it, like I said, we're getting a guy that is a big red zone target. So we're going to show some of his touchdown catches and kind of his red zone play, give you a little highlight reel so you can get a taste of him here. Really nice catch. Look at this. Goes up, makes the snag. You got to like it. And you like that his quarterback went to him, right? You can see Petrus trust the guy, and you got to like that catch there. Okay, guys, and this one's going to be a huge touchdown play against Hawaii. He's bottom of your screen here. They bomb one up to him. Petrus obviously loves Otto Tia. Just gives him a huge opportunity to get a touchdown there. Look at that swagger too, dude. Hyping up the crowd, getting people excited. You gotta like it. You gotta like it. Just very, very impressive stuff. I think they'll show the highlight here in a second. So let's let it keep running. Really, really impressed with Otto Tia. Big physical guy, can create separation downfield. And as long as he can fix maybe some of the issues with the drops, which we'll talk about in a little bit, he looks like a very talented receiver and a guy that's already proven to be pretty solid at the next level, right? Let's watch the live highlight one more time. I really think this was an impressive play, and I want to give you guys an opportunity to watch it back one time. Great stuff. You like the body control there. You like the separation. You like the speed. I think that was an awesome play. And final highlight here, Utah State playing against Wyoming. Flea flicker, bombs one up, and he makes the play there. Otto Tia, we'll watch it back again. Couple cool things to take a look at here is that Otto Tia had a guy right on him, and the guy hits him as he catches it. Physical catch, pulls it in. Real nice stuff. You got to like what you're seeing here. I'm sure there's a guy he reminds me of, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are noticing it as well with the size, the toughness. I think it's a good look. I'm excited to dive in more and give you guys the analysis. We'll check out the PFF grades. We'll check out all that, and then I'll give you guys my final take. Okay, guys, and let's take a look here at Otto Tia, the stats. Definitely a guy that put up some numbers last year. You can see here his career stats. Last year was clearly the big year for him. He had 44 catches, 434 yards, and I think the most exciting part is 7 touchdowns. And I think when you see that 7 touchdowns and you go up here and see that he's 6'4", 220 pounds, it paints a little bit of a picture and tells you a little bit of a story that we are getting a big physical red zone threat in Otto Tia. Pretty impressive stuff there. So now let's move over and take a look at the PFF grades. We take a look, guys. You look here. So like I said, 6'4", 220. The PFF grades aren't going to impress you like crazy. A 59 PFF grade. It's not terrible, but it's below average. And, you know, he was playing against inferior, you know, at least to what we're going to be playing competition in the Mountain West playing for Utah State. So he, it wasn't the toughest competition in the world. You'd like to see him grade out a little higher. We scroll down a little farther, you can see the number one problem is the drops. Okay. So you see the number one problem is these drops. Now he did have the 7 touchdowns. That's a really impressive number, right? And I like that we have a guy that we can throw the ball to. He can go up, he can get it. You look here, guys, 366 snaps out wide. So 84.5% of his snaps last year were out wide, which means we're getting a big, downfield, outside receiver. Good sign there. He had 137 yards were rack yards. So 1/3 of his yards, basically almost 1/3 of his yards were rack yards. This is where I want to take a look, guys, where I want us to notice something. Average depth of target. So how far downfield was he when he was throwing the ball? 8.7. So it's not crazy downfield. It's more like mid-range, right? It's kind of like first down-ish range. He had 7 drops last year, but there's a couple things to point out. So almost 9 yards average depth of target and 7 drops. But also be aware what percentage of these targets were probably in the red zone, right? He's not catching huge deep balls. He is catching balls medium. So he is getting touchdowns with it. He's a possession physical receiver. And I think you got to like what we get here. Don't forget, guys, in this style of offense, we are talking about an offense that runs, and then takes shots. So I think he'll have a place in this offense. I'm going to give my final thoughts here in a second, but I like the fit. I like what we're seeing. He's not, I'll touch on it in a second. But solid looking receiver. Okay, guys, final thoughts on Otto Tia. So honestly, I was saying that he reminded me of someone. It was Devon Vele. Definitely that's similar, like big physical receiver that has good fluidity to him and can be a deadly red zone target. So that's who he reminded me of. If you guys haven't already and you made it this far, make sure you guys smash the like button and comment down below. Who does he remind you of? What do you think of him at the gate? Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And my thoughts on what kind of impact Otto could have. I think one thing I see clearly is that he's proven the highlights are definitely better than what the PFF grades say, right? So I'd say at least we have this to look forward to, is that if he can flash from time to time, he will be an impact player. He has the ability to flash. He has the ability to make big plays when they're there. The other thing I want to mention is he's a great fit for this offense. This offensive play style is run the ball down your throat and then take shots downfield. I think that's exactly what this kid's made for. He's very physical, can help us out in the red zone, can, catch not so great passes, turn them into touchdowns, or if a man's right on him, he can still catch it. The physicality, he needs to work on the drops, make sure he stops dropping passes. But I think he's a really good scheme fit for this offense, and I'm excited to have him in. Low end, I could see him getting lost in the mix a little, like at the lowest possible scenario, maybe really like a Caleb Lohner last year almost, where he's lost in the mix and just kind of a red zone target. The high end, I could see him well surpassing what he did last year, where he's going for 600, 700 plus yards because he becomes the primary deep shot guy in this offense. Most realistic scenario, I'd say he's a guy that they're picking up on purpose because of the skill set, because of what he can do. He's going to go for 300 to 500 yards, somewhere in that range, and somewhere in the 5 to 8 touchdown range, real similar to what he did last year, but become a staple in this offense. And, that's almost a touchdown it's half the games he's getting a touchdown. So if he does become what I'm projecting at the average area, I think that'll be a really good look. I hope you guys appreciate the video. I'm out of here. Go Utes.